Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson on fractions. Before we go into our learning today, can you have a go at working out these for me? So you need to subtract the fractions. You might want to use a fraction strip to help, and then I will go through them with you at the end. Okay, hopefully you managed to have a go at those. We'll go through the answers now, and I'll show you how you could work out using a fraction strip. So the first one's 3/4, so we will say that each of these boxes is worth a quarter. If we have 3 and we take away 1, we have 2 left. So 3/4 take away 1/4 is not 3/4, 2/4. So that one should have been quite straightforward. Let's look at the next one then. So for this one, we're looking at fifths. So we're assuming that each of these are worth a fifth. And we need to have one whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is going to be one whole because that's 5/5. And then we have 2 extra. And then we just need to take away 2/5. So if we take away 2/5, we are left with 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are left with 4/5. Okay, hopefully that one made sense. Okay, so finally we need to do the last one. This one's a bit trickier because you had to find out what the question mark was. So we'll plot this on our fraction strip first. So we have 1 whole and 3/8. So we know they're all 1/8. So we'll do 1 whole, which we know is going to be 8/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is where our whole is. So that is also 8/8. And then we have 3 extra, 1, 2, 3. So then we know we have to get to 4. So I'll put an arrow where 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to get to 4/8. So we need to work out the difference between this one up here where it is now and down here. So by doing that, we just count along the fraction strip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So therefore it is 1 and 3/8 take away 7/8 equals 4/8. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I mean, that's just using our knowledge from yesterday. So if you do need to go over it, then maybe rewatch the video and it might just help you with your learning. So we're going to carry on today with subtracting fractions with the same denominator. We're looking at more problem solving today. So looking at sort of problem solving questions and just using the knowledge we learnt yesterday really to look at different types of questions and consolidating that knowledge. So we have the same style words. Let's crack on with the first question. So it says, last week Tom the cat ate 1 6/10 kilograms of cat food. This week he ate 7/10 of a kilogram less. How much did Tom eat this weekend? What are the important words in this problem and what do they mean? So by looking at this question, the important words are going to be straight away the numbers. So 1 6/10 and 7/10 less how much Tom ate last week. So those are kind of our key parts of the question. So we know that he ate this much in the first week, and then this week he ate this much less. So what we need to do is take this away from that. So we could use a fraction strip and we could also use the abstract method to work it out. Sorry, I was just checking what was in the other slide. So basically we're doing 1 6/10 take away 7/10. So I'm going to plot it on the fraction strip to show you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because that will be 1 whole because it's 10. 10/10 is 1 whole, and then we add on that 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we're going to take away 7/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I did the wrong one, but that should still count. And then we see how many we've got left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So therefore our answer would be 9/10. You could have also worked out using the abstract method. So as I taught you, I think it was in yesterday's lesson, you could convert this to an improper fraction first to help. So by doing that, you times the denominator by the whole number and then add it on to your numerator. which would be 16. So 16 tenths, take away 7 tenths equals 9 tenths. So hopefully that shows the two different ways you can do it. So now it's your turn to have a go at it. Have a look at the question, use either a fraction strip or the abstract method, whichever one is easier for you, and then I will show you the answers, or I'll go through them with you afterwards. So pause the video and have a go at the question. Okay, if you're not sure, then we'll go through the answers now. So last week, Fred ran 1 3/4 kilometres. This week, he ran 4 quarters less. How far did he run this week? Now, we have a mixed number fraction and a improper fraction here, but it shouldn't make a difference. We can still work it out. So first we need to find out what 1 3/4 looks like on this fraction strip, if we're using a fraction strip, that is. So we're looking at quarters, so think about how many is going to be in one whole. 4, because 4 quarters is one whole, and then we've got that 3 extra, 1, 2, 3. And then all we need to do is take away 5, because we're taking away 5 quarters. So then we just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're left with 2. So therefore, he ran 2/4 of a kilometre. If you did work it out using the abstract way and you made this an improper fraction, you would have done 4 times the whole number and then added that on to 3 to get your new denominator. So it would have been 7 quarters, take away 5 quarters, which is 2 quarters. So hopefully that was all okay for you. So let's move on to our developed learning now. So what's the same about this question? What's different? And what do you think is more tricky about this question? Or tricky, I'm not sure what the right word is there, but why is this question more difficult, do you think? So straight away I can see the denominators are still the same. The numerators are different, but that's okay, we've dealt with that so far. What makes this question more difficult is the fact that there's 3 wholes now. Up until this point, we've mostly dealt with 1 whole, but now we've got 3 wholes. So in this case, we're going to have to work out what 3 wholes will look like on our fraction strip. So I'm just going to make that fraction strip a bit bigger, so it's easier for us to see. So we know that 1 whole is going to be 7/7 because each one of these is 1/7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 1 whole. Then we count another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 2 wholes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 3 wholes. So we do just need to add a few more on. There we go. So I'm going to just shade in 3 of those wholes because we've done those. So 1, sorry, my computer's being very slow as usual. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then 2 more. So that currently is showing 3 2/7 if each of these is worth a 7. Then we have to take away 5/7. So all we have to do is do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you can see this is where our 2 is. So we're still left with 2 wholes and 1, 2, 3, 4 sevenths left over. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. The main part of this is just recognizing where 1 whole is going to be, whereas 2 wholes going to be. But you could also work it out using the abstract method. So if you have 3 2/7, you times the numerator and the denominator, sorry, the denominator and the whole number, which would be 21, and then you just add that to your numerator. So then your new one would be 23/7. So all I've done is converted that to an improper fraction. So I've just times the denominator by the whole number and then added that onto the numerator. So it's 23/7, and then you could have done take away 5/7 to get your answer as well. So now I want you to have a go. So you can use a fraction strip to work this out, or you can use the abstract method, and then it's time to go on to your questions for today. So pause the video, have a go at this, and see how you get on. Okay, so let's go through this one together then if you're not sure, or if you have done it, let's just check you're right. So I use the fraction strip first. We're looking at sixths, so each of these equal parts is representing 1/6. So we know 1 whole is going to be when we get to 6 sixths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at this point is a whole. Sorry, that's not very good. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a 2. And we only need to go up to 2 because I can see it's 2 wholes. So we need to cover 2 wholes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1 whole covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2 wholes covered, and then 2 extra. So that's 2 and 2 sixths on our fraction strip. Then we just need to take away 5 sixths. So we just get that and take away 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see we're still left with 1 whole because it still goes past 1 whole. And it's 1, 2, 3 sixths extra. And you could actually simplify that because you could divide both of these by 3. So if you divide by 3, your 3 would be 1 and your 6 would be 2. So 1 and 1/2. If you were using abstract, you would make this an improper fraction. So you would do 2 times 6 and then add that onto your numerator, which would be 14 sixths. And then take away 5 sixths, which would have been 9 sixths, which I'll write out for you. So you could put that back as a mixed number fraction if you wanted to, which would be the same as 1/2. We could leave it as an improper fraction. So now it's time to have a go at your questions. Here is group 1's first question. Here are group 1's second lot of questions. There's 3 altogether for group 1. Here's group 3. No, group 2. Don't know why I said group 3. And the last question for group 2. If you want a challenge, there is also a challenge at the end. So here is your challenge, and once you've completed all of your learning, then come back and we'll go through the answers together. Okay, welcome back if you are going through the answers with me. So we'll start with group 1 then. So last week Rusty the dog ate 2 7/10 kilograms of dog food. This week he ate 9/10 less than last week. How much dog food did Rusty eat this week? So they've actually drawn it for you. So they've drawn 2 7/10, and then they've taken away 9/10. So they've crossed out 9/10. So you're taking away 9/10, and then you just had to find what it landed on. So it lands on this one, which is 1 8/10. So therefore Rusty ate 1 8/10. So it kind of showed you on the fraction strip here, so you just had to use it to help you work it out. So hopefully that was all okay for you. The second part of group 1, so complete these calculations. 1 7/8 take away 3/8. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 1 7/8 if we were to highlight all of this, and then we need to take away 3/8. So I'm going to count backwards like a number line. 1, 2, 3. So that would be 1 whole and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 whole and 4 eighths. This one, don't be fooled by this being at the front. It just doesn't matter because you still have to work out this. So it's 3 1/9. So 3 1/9 would be here. And then you have to count back 5 because you're taking away 5/9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 2 wholes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ninths. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought there. 2 and 5 ninths, I think I said. That really doesn't look like it. I'll write it over here. 5 ninths. Okay, I don't know which is worse, to be honest. Sorry about that. So 2 and 5 ninths is your answer. This one, you had 2 and 9/11. Take away 3/11. Take away 9/11. So what you could do is actually kind of add these 2 up, or you could do it in a different order, whichever way it's up to you. But in my mind, I would add these 2 up, so 3/11 and 9/11, which would make not 11 elevenths, 12 elevenths. Sorry, I don't know what's gone into me. There we go. 12 elevenths, because I've just added these up, and then I'm just going to take that away from 2 and 9 elevenths. Because that's just easier for me. So you could have drawn a number line to help you work that out. I'm going to do it the abstract way, so I'm going to make the other one an improper fraction. So 2 times 11 is 22, and then I'm going to add that to 9, so that would be 31. 31 elevenths, take away 12 elevenths, equals, I can't do that off the top of my head, I won't lie, 19 elevenths, I want to say. Is that right? I think so. 19 elevenths. I feel under pressure on these videos when I have to work things out in my head, I won't lie. But let's just double check. Let's do it over here just to check. 31 take away 12. 1 take away 2 can't do it, so you borrow 1 from here. 11 take away 2 is 9. 2 take 1, yeah, so it is 19. Whew, thank God for that. So we have 19 elevenths. You could also write that as 1 whole and 8 elevenths if you wanted to. Sorry, that's a big mess up there, but hopefully that all made sense for you. So the next one then, it says cross out part of the fraction strip to help you work out the answer to 3 and 1/5 take away 4/5. So for this one, they've given you the number line, which is very helpful. So we've got 3 and 1/5. So we need to work out where 1 whole is, which is here, 5/5. 2 wholes would be 10/5. 3 wholes would be 15/5, sorry, and 1 extra would be over here. So it goes right up to the end of the number line. Then we just need to take away 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're left with 12/5. And you could also write that as not 1, 2, and 2/5 if you wanted to write it as a mixed number fraction. Moving on to group 2 then, if you went on to those, it says Millie has 2 and 5/7 litres of juice. Each day Millie drinks 6/7 of a litre of juice. How many days will the juice last? So we need to work out 2 and 5/7 first. So 2 is here. We need to add another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how much juice she has. That's a bit of a tongue twister. And she drinks 6/7 each day. So we just need to work out how many days it will last. So we need to count back in sevenths, in groups of 6/7, because that's how much she drinks. So let me get another pen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is how much you have left after 1 day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how much you'll have left after 2 days. You have 1 whole. So I'm only going back in 6/7 because that is how much she drinks every day. And then finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would last her for 3 days because that's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And she'd have a tiny little bit left over. So she would have 1/7 left over because it's this bit here. There's only 1 part left. For this one, work out these calculations. It's quite a tricky one because it probably took you quite a while, which is why there's only 2 group 2 questions today. No, there's not. That's a complete lie. There's another one on the end, so I'm sorry about that. I'm really not with it today, year 4. I need to sort myself out. So I'm just going to pause the video and I'll answer all these for you, and then I'll go through the answers with you afterwards. Okay, so I've just worked them out. They are very tricky, especially as they go along, so don't worry too much if you didn't get them right. Sorry about the email. So the first one, these first 3, I converted, or I changed the mixed number fraction to an improper fraction because to me that just makes it easier. So I just times out 2 times 5 and then added the 2 to get 12/5 and then took away 4/5, which is 8/5. If you wrote it as your answer as a mixed number fraction, then that's fine. And then the second one was 8/3, and then 6/8. D was 2 and 1/8. Oh no, sorry, 21/8. E was 78/12. F was 4 and 4/8. That was quite tricky. What I did was I saw that if there's 4 holes in the answer, then this has got to be larger than 4 holes because you've taken away something from it. So I just kind of guessed that it would be 5 and then just worked it out, and it was correct. So that's why I did that one. The same with this. It is all trial and error, really, just to check which works. And if I knew it was going to be 2 holes, I knew it had to be at least 3 holes here. So I put in 3 and see, and I just saw if it worked, really. Then this one was 4 2/10, and this one is 3/5. Hopefully they are all right. Let me know if they aren't. But hopefully they weren't too bad. And if you're struggling, let me know, and I can always go through them again in the drop-in. So this one, she started with 4 2/9 meters of ribbon. So what I did was I added up how much she had cut off. So I added those up, which gave me 11/9, and then I took that away from 3 meters. Sorry, I meant I added these two, and then because she had 3 meters left, I added that on to what she had left, because this is what she had left, this is what she used. So if you add it all up, that is then what she started with altogether. So I had 3 11/9, but actually you can see there's a hole there, so that would go to 4 2/9 because there are 9/9 here. So you put that over to the hole, so it's 4 holes and 2/9. And then finally, the last one, they're both correct. So both models they've used are correct. They've just worked out in a different way. So we have 7/9 take away 3/9. Anna uses this model, so she's done 1 2 3 4 5 6 7/9, and then she's worked out the difference. So she's shown 3/9, and she's just worked out the difference. Whereas Amir has taken them away. So I personally think this method is easier, but either way is correct. So if you had anything along those lines for your number story, then that's great. I am aware that I'm rushing a bit because I am also aware that this video has been going on for far too long. So I apologise for that. I hope it wasn't too bad. Any questions or anything you want me to go through, let me know, and we can always go through it in my drop-in, or I can go through it with you separately. Thank you for watching.